What's up YouTube, Capital G here. We got some maximum spicy Red Dragon duels for you guys to check out. Red Dragons are a deck that I always find super entertaining to watch because dropping those big Red Dragon monsters is incredibly enthralling, and you are going to see a ton of big Dragon monsters dropped in this opening duel. Now, we all know Armageddon Knight is, well, some people call it a one-card FTK. I actually feel like this card, I mean, it might be a sleeper to get banned, but definitely I feel like it needs to be limited to one. Same thing goes with Destiny Hero Malicious. I know when you put the card at one, it effectively kills the card. It's the same as banning it, but if you really think about it, Malicious has been broken every single era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Except maybe Zexal. Like, it was broken in GX because of Crush Card, it was broken in 5Ds because of Synchros, and it's broken now with Link Summoning. But you can see that these cards are going to be the catalyst to getting the duel started, going into the one card ISO'd, and this is pretty cool. He's going to summon another copy of Armageddon Knight from his deck. Armageddon Knight, not a hard once per turn. Shout outs to Phantom Darkness. I love that set when it first came out. That shit broke the hell out of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you can see that now he has so many of those bamboo swords. He will be able to draw into some pretty good cards. He's going to go for the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, or no, excuse me, this is a Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. I'm getting ahead of myself. And off of Summon Sorceress, summon another Resonator from his deck, and then check this out, go straight into the Red Nova Dragon like it's nothing. Now, I want people to understand that Red Dragon Nova, or excuse me, Red Nova Dragon is not exactly an easy card to summon because it is a level 12 monster, but check this out. He is like, Cap G, you thought summoning one level 12 dragon monster was hard? That's not even difficult, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and summon a second one relatively easily. This man summons the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Calamity, and I want people to get this. This is literally the top of the food chain for the Red Dragon archetype. Both of these are level 12, and he summoned them without even breaking a sweat. This man did not use Soul Charge. He did not use Monster Reborn. Technically, he used a Monster Reborn type card with World Legacy Succession, but he's at the top of the food chain, and he's not even done because he has all of that Monster Reborning in his hand still, so you know the pop-off is going to be real. There's Gumblar Dragon, which means pretty much rest in pepperoni to a couple of cards in his opponent's hand. You can see right there, he's setting up for the Gumblar Dragon to be activated, goes into the best of the Red Dragons, that would be Abyss, and then he summons Bane, tributes the tuner on board to summon Bane back, and, you know, thank God Gumblar Dragon is a hard once per turn, because this could have gotten really, really ugly had it not been, and his opponent is looking at this field with 5 powerful Red Dragon monsters. Well, Gumblar is not, but he's looking at this field and he's like, I don't know what to do here, Cap. I think he's going to try to use the Ties of the Brethren. That's going to be negated by Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, but he does get debated because he has a second copy. That one will resolve. The problem is with Musketeers, what the monsters just don't really do that much if you're not constantly, like, if you don't have Casper, you ain't doing nothing. He tries to target the Nova. I don't think he read it because it can't be destroyed by card effects, and then he's like, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and scoop. Not exactly sure why Exodia, this is, which Exodia is this? Exodia Ultimate, okay, I'm like, Exodius, yeah, I'm like, why is Exodius even in this deck? I'm used to seeing it in trains and other decks that revolve around like the level 10, but you know, using it in Musketeers, I'm pretty sure that that's kind of troll. Second duel is against Guard Dragon Erratics. These Guard Dragon decks are extremely powerful, but they are kind of like go first decks in general, as a lot of these like combo ISO decks are as well. You pretty much go first, or you know you're going to be facing an uphill battle. I can't really see how any of these decks would be able to beat decks like Sky Striker or Ultra Guys, decks that play legitimate defense and decks that can grind for 2, 3, 4 straight turns with defensive cards. But you can see this turn is going to be fairly similar to the last one, not nearly as hard of the pop off because he's not going to get that, but he is still going to be able to summon Red Nova Dragon relatively easily. At one point, I actually thought that the bamboo cards might actually get hit, but I think it just all revolves around like Armageddon Knight and ISO'd. He does get his Gumblar off, so, you know, making your opponent only start with 3 cards, and he does summon Calamity, so I think he starts pretty well, being able to get 2 level 12 dragons on the field as well as a Gumblar, but he doesn't really have any like hard disruption for his opponent, so his opponent should be able to, you know, kind of do what he wants to do, and the, you know, these Guard Dragon builds can kind of summon, or they can make a lot of that, or they can make a lot out of a little bit. This was a mistake. He did summon to a link point that activated Gumlar, so he ends up losing some materials. He's going to steal the Red Nova Dragon, which seems pretty cool. The problem is when he kills Calamity, that brings back Scarlight. So we all know that Scarlight's not a card that you want your opponent to have if you've got a bunch of monsters on field that are lower, because your opponent can just do that and then basically nuke the field. I believe he's going to go into Abyss now. He doesn't need to do anything because the Nova's going to die. And then if you have a Nova and your opponent is top decking, Nova will basically beat any top deck in the game. I can't think of anything that Nova couldn't be, because like any monster for the most part is going to be smaller than Nova, and Nova can negate that monster, and then any spell or trap he can also just negate. So it's incredibly difficult to just try to one-for-one like top deck out of you know, something like a Scarlight or a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Maybe if you kaiju it and then you draw like another top deck, that's pretty good. Last duel is against Madolche, and you know what? He gets the open in this duel, but he might get his just desserts in this duel. This guy's been cheesing every single player that he dueled against. He's been going first and saying, you know what, I got all the skill, man. I got these Armageddon Knights every single time. I'm going to show you guys what's what. But Madolche are going to try to put up a fight. You can see, thanks to the use of Plague Spreader Zombie plus Malicious, it makes synchro summoning easy. We found that out, you know, when Teledad was a thing. Like we found that out when what was the first 5D set? The Duelist Genesis? Was that the name of the set? The Duel, yeah, Duelist Genesis. We found that out when the Duelist Genesis came out in like 2008. How ridiculous Malicious plus, well, no. Plague Spreader was the second set. Plague Spreader was Crossroads of Chaos. Oh my god, I'm trolling. Yeah, Plague Spreader came out then, but still we knew that because of Crabons, like how ridiculous synchro summoning was going to be with Malicious. Now, unfortunately, his opponent does have that Dark Hole, and you're going to see Madolche, because of the new card, because of the new Pudding Cessor, dude, you can explode in Madolche so easily. And once he got this many cards, I'm sorry, Red Nova Drag, you had no chance against a Tiramisu. So he is getting his just desserts. Oh my god, I made a pun there. I didn't even realize that I was saying just desserts in the context of Madolche. Cap G pun god, I guess confirmed. Anyways, you can see this duel is all but over. He would have to have a Soul Charge top deck to get back in it, and that is not a Soul Charge. Yeah, well, hold on. Would Soul Charge get him back in this duel? Yeah, I think Soul Charge would, because he does have Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend, but that pretty much would have been the only thing, or maybe Monster Reborn. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Oh, you know what? Let me just pause and show you guys what the deck looks like. Alright, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. Anybody else have complete fatigue over the Armageddon Knights and just, I guess you could call it like the Dark Engine down there? And these Dark monsters just, they gotta hit so many of these cards. I mean, to me, put Armageddon Knight at 1, put Destiny Hero Malicious at 1. If you put Malicious at 1, then you won't actually need to go after Vision Hero Vion, which is effectively the same exact thing. Like, it serves kind of the same purpose, because I believe it can also dump Malicious in the graveyard. And, you know, people would probably say like Dark Greffer, but I don't think you would if you put Malicious at 1 in Armageddon, because Armageddon Knight can still just like send Destrudo and Plague Spreader and still so many other powerful cards. Kind of feel like it needs to be at 1. The rest of this deck is really what you might expect. If you don't hit any of these cards and your turn 1, you're probably going to lose. So much of the deck is dark, so that's why you're also playing like Allure Darkness. And then the Bamboo Engine, these are just basically like draw cards that work in conjunction with a sword. You have your Resonator Calls to be able to get to your Resonators. Not even really that many of them in the deck. And then you have your Monster Reborn engine, which is right here in between, or outside of the Allure of Darknesses. You've got Monster Reborn, Soul Charge, and then World Legacy Succession, which is basically Monster Reborn Part 2. And then these are just other generic kind of filler equip cards to be used with the ISO plays. But I don't know, I generally just kind of have fatigue of all of these ISO type decks. It is kind of cool to see that Red Dragons can be able to summon a lot of their big dragon boss monsters easily, especially without even needing to use Needle Fiber. Like, that's kind of incredible. The fact that like Needle Fiber was never even seen, and you're talking about dropping like Red Nova Dragon and Calamity in the same turn, 2 level 12 Synchro Dragons and no sight of Needle Fiber. Like, I wouldn't have believed that. But in general, I still believe like they need to hit the whole Dark Warrior engine hard, because Warrior is the best type in Yu-Gi-Oh right now by a country mile. So whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, turn on that notification bell for daily videos, and check out these other videos. I know you'll enjoy. enjoy. And actually, one last thing that I forgot to point out that I am totally not mentioning because I want this video to be 10 minutes. Kappa, I would probably consider, I was just looking at the extra deck, I don't think really Bills serves that much of a purpose anymore in 2018 Yu-Gi-Oh! So I would take that out and I would put in Borreload Savage Dragon. I think that Borreload Savage Dragon just like makes more sense. You're already synchro summoning level 8 dragon synchro monsters anyways. Why not have a significantly better card than Bills? And you're always starting your plays out with Isode, so that can be the card that you basically Monster Reborn, and then you have more negation in addition to, like, imagine if you can drop Borreload Savage Dragon and then also have, like, if I can find them, here he is, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. That's basically 2 layers of negation, because if you make that type of board turn 1, maybe you don't actually lose that Madolche duel. Actually, you probably almost certainly don't lose that duel, because 1 negate for Dark Hole, a 2nd negate for the Madolche monster, GG no Re. Just a nice option to think about.